Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to your yoga practice. I'm Alicia Ray. Let's get started with strong intention today. Today was the super flower moon. And it actually happened this morning here in Denver, Mountain Time at 4:45 in the morning. And welcome everyone as you're joining in. And my son and I actually set our alarms the night before for 4:30 a.m. We got up and walked out and just soaked in the energy of this beautiful flower moon. It was quite lovely. Of course, you can never really capture the beauty and the essence in a picture. But looking into it, there's a lot of energy and symbolism around this new moon phase that we're moving into that I wanted to speak to or bring into our practice today, as well as an intention that a friend shared with me that also created a lot of inspiration for my day. Stepping into this practice, and really today, and kind of I've noticed this week, I've hit a lot of emotional waves. And I know that each of us in this time and of quarantine and transition of COVID-19, I've said it a lot, we've landed somewhere differently between this space of struggle and surrender. And I think every day, maybe even hour by hour or minute by minute, we can feel ourselves shifting into that surrender or struggle space. So some days we have more surrender and we just feel the joy, and other days we're stuck in that feeling of surrender. And I believe in the process of both. I believe that both have something significant to offer us as we journey through life on and off our mat. So today, in full vulnerability, I might be meeting you with a sense of struggle, and I'm going to bring that into my teaching today and see what transpires on the mat. And just want you to honor where you're at. Where are you landing on this spectrum of surrender and struggle? So let's bring in some energy, find a seat on your mat, and I'd like to open up a little bit of a intention, and I really want to make this a strong focus for our practice today. So whether you're just listening or deciding that you're going to practice now or later, let's take an opportunity to settle into this. So as we come into this space of understanding the super flower moon that happened at 4:45 a.m. here in Denver and different parts of the country, it is moving into Scorpio season or energy. So when we move into Scorpio, it's very symbolic or resonant of growth, evolution, and transformation. So very powerful energy to bring into our life, into our bodies, into our minds, and definitely into our practice. So this is what we're going to open ourselves up to over the next moon cycle: growth, evolution, and transformation. So I think it's maybe in a lot of ways a gift that can continue to move us in that shift of surrender and struggle. And then with that, a friend shared with me a passage this morning that said, in order to have a good day, do good things. It's that simple. You want to have a good day, do good things. So I just want to take an opportunity, because I'm not really sure if I've been doing good things today, other than all I can offer right now in this moment, 3 o'clock on a Thursday in Denver, is thank you to those of you who have done good things for me. And there have been many of you, and I'm going to do you right by acknowledging you. So I just want to say thank you for the goodness that you've brought me. I know who you are in my heart, and I will be reaching out to you to show proper recognition and gratitude. So maybe an opportunity for you guys joining me for the practice today to think about the goodness in your life. And if it's not you saying thank you to someone that offered good to you, what can you do today to do good things so that you can bring your good day into present moment? And maybe that will help you shift a little bit on your spectrum, especially if you're feeling more of that struggle side. Okay, so enough talking, enough dogma. Let's get into the practice, child's pose, right away. And I'm not necessarily going to cue any props in our practice today, but by all means use them if you would like. Let's settle into child's pose. Take a few moments, close your eyes, and I said a lot, so give yourself a moment to just notice what's landing on you, what's stuck, because whatever you have received or absorbed so far, that's what you needed to hear. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, that's your process on your mat today. And then as we're settling in, welcome your breath, because your breath is always that sweet release, that sweet surrender. It's also Thursday, so typically I teach Thursday evenings in the studio at Core Power Yoga Stapleton, so I always like to do fun little throwbacks. So today's going to be a throwback to the essence of the traditional C1 flow at Core Power. I think this is such a beautiful practice, full body alignment, a lot of opportunity to really be in the posture. And we'll play around with some variations. So happy Throwback Thursday. Take one more breath in your child's pose. And let exhale go. And start to bring your body up to tabletop. Walk your knees in. Shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrist. Hips are over the knees. Tuck your toes and lift your shins, your knees just an inch or two from the mat. Bend the elbows a little bit more. And then start to tuck your tailbone. Scoop low belly up and in, and then round a little bit in the upper back. So kind of like we're feeling a bit of a cat pose. And then without touching your knees to the floor, find a cow pose. So what we're doing is cat and cow variations by hovering the shins an inch or two from the mat. So you'll notice the range of motion is a lot smaller. Just want you to feel this for a couple more moments. I find that this is really delicious for the back and gives us a different sense of the stretch. And then lower your knees to the mat. Let's find spinal balancing. So extend your right arm out in front of you, left leg behind you. Point your toes down and your thumb up. Gaze down towards your mat, lengthen the back of your neck and pull your chin up towards your throat. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee towards your nose, round and curl. Tap. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, tuck and curl. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. And then let's go ahead and pause here in spinal balancing or bend your knee and you can reach behind you for your foot. Start to kick your foot into your hand and then shift your gaze away from the earth, forward to the horizon. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Little different here. Go ahead and plant your right palm down. Take your lifted knee, tuck it behind your bent knee, and then shift your hips back. Walk your hands towards you. You're going to allow your knees to come away from the floor in towards your chest. Push into your palms. Get a nice little stretch here. Come to center, uncross the knees, and let's change sides. Spinal balancing, left arm, right leg. Take a moment. Slide your shoulder on to your back. Little space there. And then breathe in, reach, stretch. Exhale, knee to nose. Breath in, reach. Exhale, tuck, curl. One more time, breath in, reach. Exhale here, and then you can come back to spinal balancing, stay, bend your knee, reach behind you, kick your foot into your hand, open up a little bit more. Breathe, breathe. And then release your palm, tuck your knee behind your other knee. Walk your hips back, lift your knees towards your chest, and then push into your palms. Relax your forehead down. So you feel this a little bit in the outer glute, sometimes in the upper back. And then release, come to center. Let's tuck toes into the mat again. Lift your shins, your knees an inch or two from the mat. Breathe for 3, 2. Downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And then start to settle in, find your stretch in your down dog today. And take a moment to become present in this space. You know, often in our practice, we can also feel that range of struggle and surrender. You can get the full spectrum sometimes. Just giving yourself an opportunity to check in with honesty, without judgment. Where are you landing today on that spectrum? Once you honor your truth and you know that you have some work ahead of you, growth, transformation, and evolution, take a moment to feel the goodness of this day. Breathe in. On your exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat towards your feet. So instead of walking forward, let's walk back. Toe heel the feet out a little bit wider. Take a nice little ragdoll forward fold. Rest your forehead on your forearms as you bend your elbows, cross your arms. Sway side to side, bend the knees a lot.
Go ahead and change the cross. So opposite forearm behind, forehead reconnects. Maybe you take a moment here to be in the center and pulse a few times. And then release, fingertips touch the earth. Step your feet together or hip width apart. Touch the tops of your toes, your feet with your hands. And let's keep this hand to body connection. So we'll slide fingertips over your feet and then over your shins. Keep your head hanging below the heart, over your knees. Keep breathing as you slowly roll up. Fingertips over your quads, over your belly, over your chest. And then all the way up, mountain pose. Breathe in. Make a nice Y shape with your upper body. Breathing in. And then exhale, hands come to heart. Take a moment here. Tune in. Close your eyes. Calling to your attention pose. Set an intention for your practice for this Throwback Thursday. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different elements we can play with here on the mat. What would serve you most to bring good into your day? Let's find standing Shavasana, arms to your sides, palms face forward. Extend the arms out, up over your head. Breathe in. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold, Uttanasana. Nice and easy, Sun A. Take a halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, we'll walk the hands forward, step back. Take one more breath in here, high plank. Lower your knees, lower your chest, lower your belly. Let's start with the cobra pose. Little to no weight in the palms. Start to lift and peel your chest away from the earth. Point the tops of your toes down to your mat. We'll take a couple breaths here. You can even start to hover the hands. Feel a little tuck of your tailbone down. Pull belly button up and in. Exhale, soften forehead. You can either reverse plank or push back to child's pose. From plank pose or child's pose, take a breath in. Let breath go. Child's pose, let's rise up to tabletop plank and we move through to downward facing dog together. Take a breath in. Let breath go. Let's do a traditional Sun A, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, right leg up and back. Pull your chest back towards your leg. Exhale, knee passes your nose, find your low lunge. Go ahead and lower your back knee down, crescent moon. Fingertips can reach or just bring hands to your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, we touch the earth, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up, Tadasana. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breath in. And then exhale, step back, high plank. You can now start to add in Chaturanga, mid-plank, a little push-up with or without the knees. Inhale, upward dog, or just take cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, left leg up and back. Pull chest back with you. Exhale, knee passes your nose. Heel and toes in your low lunge. Lower your back knee. Fingertips at your hips or up over shoulders. Breath in. Exhale, touch the earth. Step the feet together. Halfway lift. Exhale, we're hinging at the hips. Bow. All the way up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Big inhale. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breath in. You can bring hands to shins or to thighs. And then exhale, step back. Alternate the legs that you're stepping back with, okay? High plank and then your choice, Cobra, Chaturanga, or just hold plank. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, breathe 3 full rotations of your breath in and out of your body. Maybe even close your eyes. Push into the L shape of your palms, your thumbs, and your index fingers. And then feel your chest pull towards your thighs. Push into the hands, breath in. Settle the heels a little closer to the earth, breath out. Let's walk to the back of the mat again. So hands touch your toes, take a halfway lift. And exhale, deep forward fold. Sit low
Sit back and then reach biceps in line with ears, chair pose, Utkatasana. We'll take a few moments here to build a little bit of heat and focus. You can always invite your hands to rest at your chest or at your hips. Okay, just checking in. If you feel a lot of neck and shoulder strain, especially if you're working from home right now, staring at a computer, this may not serve you. This could be adding more stress. This could be adding more struggle. So find your surrender into chair pose. Close your eyes or focus your gaze to one point. Sit into it and breathe. Now notice, how do you want to show up in this moment? You can show up and you can fight the pose. You can embrace the pose. You can be the pose, okay? It's okay to have a couple different emotions or feelings. Listen to the dialogue in your head and then soften the breath. Get really fierce with your focus. Inhale. And exhale, airplane torso, stretch back, open the heart. We'll come all the way up into a standing mountain pose with a back bend. Inhale. Exhale, hands pause at the heart. Let exhale go, big time. Standing Shavasana, arms beside you, palms face forward, roll the shoulders up and down your back a few times. And then interlace hands behind you. We'll find a chest expansion. So standing camel pose, bend the elbows, roll back into your heels. Feel the stretch around your sternum, your chest, the collarbones. Keep your bind. If it's not too much, if it is, you can always bring hands to hips instead. Elbows stay bent. Hinge at your hips, either drawing your knuckles across the ceiling or hands at your hips as you fold forward. Again, if you have hands on your hips, you can always take your hands behind your head instead. Shoulder, chest expansion here. We breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold again. Toe heel your feet out, hip width apart. And let's find a couple little squats here. So bend the knees and squat low. You can bring hands to the floor or hands to hips. Really, each time you rise up, you're moving into a wide leg straddle fold. We're going to warm up here for Malasana. And then you can keep pulsing here or try this on. Heels to the earth, hands to heart. Roll weight back towards your heels and then use your elbows to apply gentle pressure to the inside of your legs. And then stretch the top of your head towards the ceiling. And maybe even surrender into closing your eyes here. Is it possible to feel both surrender and struggle? I think so. I'm always reminded in these moments of postures that challenge us that we are humans having an enlightened experience. No. We are enlightened beings having a human experience. Take one more breath. Touch the earth, lift your hips, feel that change, that stretch. Relax your head and your neck. We return to halfway lift. We're still at the back of our mat. Walk across your mat, take high plank. Breath in here. Lower your right knee to the mat as you exhale, turn your foot out. Let's take a supported side plank, stretch and reach. Yeah, spread your top fingertips really wide. Open up here. Big inhale, stretch. Exhale, change sides. Change legs, change sides. Reach up. Stretch, get lots of energy in that lifted palm and fingertips, and then roll shoulders on your back. Aim your tailbone towards your back heel. Breath in. Exhale, we return. High plank. You can take the vinyasa if you'd like, or meet us in downward facing dog. Let's build our sun bee flow. Take a moment here. Inhale deep. Settle in with your exhale. Ujjayi breath. You seal your lips. Breathing just through the nose as you exhale. Through the nose, you inhale. Through the nose, you exhale. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your back heel down. We're opening up warrior 2. Now take a moment here. Flip your palms up, bend the elbows a little bit. Tuck your thumbs into your palms, and then wrap your fingers around your thumbs. And let's roll the wrists clockwise and counterclockwise a couple times. Now as you're doing this, A good self check-in with your foundation, all right? Heel to heel alignment, shoulders over hips. Good, now spread the fingers wide, turn the palms down, tuck your fingers in, wrap your thumbs outside your index finger, and we roll out the wrist. This is the one that I always feel the most. So typing at the computer, texting on the phone, this is a good one. As an esthetician, I always need to take care of my wrists and my hands, but man, these exercises are good for all of us these days. Good. All right, now let's return to Warrior Two focus. Exhale. Take a nice light breath in, lengthening side bodies. Exhale, extended side angle. So for our extended side angle, we can do a couple things here. You can pinch shoulders onto the back, press forearm to thigh and thigh into forearm. Feel that engagement. You can take your top arm and parallel the floor for a moment. Slide your shoulder back into its socket. Feel that pinch on the back. And then open up as you feel the scapula working. There we go. The other option is just to do the natural rotation in the shoulder joint. So swivel the arm around, making a nice diagonal line of energy from your back heel to your fingertips. And then create space in the shoulder from the ear. Exhale the breath. Reverse warrior, you're just moving your torso, stack over the hips, reaching up and back. A lot of times what happens is people tend to make this more of a twist, all right? So shoulders are over hips and everything is in line, all right? So no twisting, we want lengthening in the back line body, and then you can tilt back a little bit more or take a half bind, forearm to low back. I'm gonna drop my ear to my back shoulder to take tension away from the neck. When you're ready, exhale the breath. Chin back to chest. Take an inhale, dip back. Exhale, windmill down. High plank pose, step back. Exhale is our push-up chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a moment, breathe in. I'm going to position myself on my mat and breathe out. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Back heel down, rise up, warrior two. So now we're in warrior pose on the other side. Stretch your arms out. Always have to do a little yoga clothing check sometimes. Okay, so take a moment here. We've already moved through the wrists once on the other side, but we're gonna do it again here. I'd like you to keep your palms facing up and then just let your wrists move really quickly up and down. And then we turn the palms down. You're gonna feel the energy in this one for sure. And then flip or flap the palms up and down. Great way to get lactic acid out. A lot of inflammation is released, toxins. Free flow that energy back into your hands. And then bring your hands to your heart for just a moment. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Equal length in your side bodies here. Re-extend the arms, warrior two. Take a breath in. Exhale, extended side, Utthita Parsvakonasana. So forearm to thigh, thigh to forearm. We reach up, pinch shoulders on the back. A lot of oblique work here. And then you can parallel your arm forward, hug the shoulder back, and really reach and extend. Feel that change. Or rotate in the socket, one line of energy from your back heel to your fingertips, and then just take a moment to adjust the shoulder onto the back away from the ear. Exhale the breath here. Reverse warrior. So we have a little to no weight in this back hand against your thigh. Shoulders right over the hips. You can take the half bind here if you'd like, or back ear to back shoulder, and start to tilt back just a little bit. There is a tendency here for us to lose engagement around the thighs and the core. So I want you to hug inner thighs in, draw tailbone down, and then pull navel up and in. Take one more breath. Exhale, we windmill down. We close the hips, we step back, high plank, breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment, relax your head and your neck here. Maybe yes and no a few times, and we're gonna flow through this. One more breath in. Let breath go. Right leg up and back, inhale. Low lunge, exhale. Back heel is down, rise up, warrior two.
Moving with your breath, exhale, extended side angle. So super important to move at your pace. Reverse when you're ready. Match your movement with your breath, exhale back to the earth. We step back, inhale, plank. With control, lower halfway down. Elbows are grazing ribs here, inhale, push away from the earth, upward dog, thighs lift, knees lift. Exhale, roll over toes, downward dog. Drop the head below the heart, breathe in, left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Rise up, warrior two. When you're ready, exhale, extended side. Reverse, up and back. Down to the earth, flowing with your breath. Step back, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. One more time to the flow, go right into it. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Vira two, breath in, maybe try closing your eyes. Exhale, extend. Check in with your neck and your shoulders. Reverse. Exhale to the earth. If you're getting a little fatigued here, that's okay. That's what's supposed to happen, right? Maybe you just hold plank. Instead of compromising your shoulders, stay here or take chaturanga. Back to our dog. Last flow here, other side. Inhale. Touch the earth. Exhale. Rise up, warrior two. Exhale, soften with your breath. Where are you between surrender and struggle? Reverse. Down to the mat. Stepping back, mindful in your vinyasa, placing your breath in a very particular way into your body. Back to dog. We hold here for 3 breath rotations. Try to resist the urge to move into child's pose here. 2 more breaths. Keep pressing down through your palms. Hasta Bandha is engaged. Through your feet, Pada Bandha. 1 more breath. And now we exhale. Ha. Come forward to our plank and let's hold here in plank. So again, not holding the breath, but holding the posture. Letting the posture hold us. Yeah. Gaze is down. Back of the neck long. You can pull your chin up towards your chest a little bit. I like to turn the eyes of the elbows in, a little bend of the elbows, and then a little rounding in the upper back and a little tucking of the tail, just to really get into your deep low core. Good. Breathe here for a few more moments. So strong. Full body participation here in plank. I've heard that if there's one core exercise you could do, just one, it's plank pose. All right, lower your knees, lower your chest, lower your belly. Take a moment. We'll come into prostration, so one palm on top of the other, and rest your forehead down on top of your palms. Drop your belly into the earth. We're going to do a low back release here, strengthening our low back and our core, getting into the QL. So exhale everything out, and I'm only keeping my head lifted so that you can hear me better. But please keep your forehead down. Even better over time is to bring a towel that you can roll up and rest underneath your low belly at your pelvic floor. But I like to keep things simple because we don't always have the props. So here we go. Exhale everything out. Now tuck your tailbone slightly, but don't squeeze the glutes like a raisin. All right, just that natural tucking of your tail. Notice what follows, okay? Continuing to breathe naturally. We'll sync this with the breath in a moment. Now on your next exhale, push your belly button down against the floor. And then when you inhale, send that breath magically up from your low body into your chest. Remember, your head is down. I'm just lifting so you can hear me. And you should feel a little bit of a quiver as you're activating everything in the pelvic floor. First, second, third chakra. There's a lot of dynamic energy there. Maybe this is where you feel that evolution, transformation, and growth. And then soften. So let's try it again and sync it with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone slightly. Fill up with the breath. Exhale, push your belly button down. Inhale. Swell the breath into the upper body. Exhale, release.
You'll feel this if you do it with the towel roll. We'll do it one more time. This is on a forest tradition. Exhale, curl tailbone. Breathe in. Exhale, push belly button down. Breathe in. Exhale, soften. So good. Let's do some reverse crunches since we're down here. I like to bring fingertips behind the head. No pressure here. They can barely touch. Feet are a little bit wider apart, toes down. Exhale, lift chest, inhale, lower. Exhale, up, inhale, down. We only have a few reverse crunches. Let's go for 5 more. 2 and 1. Lift. Reach your arms out in front of you, legs up, and we pump, swimming. Pump the legs, pump the arms. Palms are down, shoulders on your back, back of the neck long, and start to pump faster, faster. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the elbows, bend the knees. Reverse bug. It's like kind of a variation of dead bug's pose. And soften back to child's pose. Woo. So feel some breath coming into some new spaces and stretching in the body. And maybe in child's pose this time you can flip your palms up or bring them to touch behind the nape of your neck. And then plant palms down, lift up to tabletop. So this time we'll do traditional cat-cows where your knees are actually on the mat. Just to feel the change, go ahead and lower belly, inhale, lift gaze. You're pulling the shoulder heads back. On the exhale, push down into the palms. Tuck tailbone first. Pull navel up and in. As you push into your hands, you can start to feel a little bit more connection to the stretch, chin towards throat, and then flow a few times on your own cat-cows. You can also reverse the breath. It doesn't always have to be exhale into cat and inhale into cow. You could try exhaling cat and inhaling cow. This is yoga. Explore. Let's tuck toes, palms forward, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to settle back into your down dog. Feel the change of your practice. A few moments here. So I can remember one of the first things I ever heard in a core power class was, eventually downward dog will feel like a resting pose. And I remember thinking, wow, that's crazy. And here we are. Well, today I took a class in which the resting pose was chair pose. So there's always new explorations of growth, transformation, and evolution for sure. I never thought I'd heard somebody say, in this class, chair pose is the resting pose. Take a breath in, let breath go. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back. I'm gonna change positions here. Exhale into a low lunge. Little different, we're coming into crescent now. So back heel stays lifted, rise up, crescent Anjaneyasana. And take a moment, you can bring your hands to your hips. So back heel is lifted over the ball of your foot. Good. And you're starting to feel this back inner thigh spiraling back. Front inner thigh spiraling in and down. Knee right over in line with middle toes, the front foot. And instead of your heels sickling out, you're going to roll towards your big toe a little bit more, and you really feel the application of the muscle. Inhale, arms high if they're not already, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come to heart. We hinge forward, deep breath here. You can pause right here, and then hook into revolving crescent lunge on your right, elbow outside your thigh. Now I'm going to adjust so that I can be facing you. As you hook your elbow over your thigh, you have an option to lower to your back knee to make the twist a little bit more accessible because you're not having to focus on balance as much. But this can deepen the twist. You also have the option of bringing right palm down and left palm up and support you against the earth and the sky. This can be a really nice chest opener as well. Let's breathe in here together. Good. Exhale, release, runner's lunge. So you want to toe heel your right foot out and bring your palms down to the insides of your front foot, maybe even bring the back knee down. That could feel good. Now at this point, If your wrists are talking to you a little bit, you can always make fists and then plant the knuckles on the floor, stack shoulder over elbow, elbow over wrist. So strengthen your wrists over time, but it's a nice way to kind of back off of the wrists. The other thing you can do, and I'll scoot back a little bit so you can see this, if you're feeling really confident in your runner's lunge, you have some support, you can do another wrist stretch. Place your palms down, wrists facing forward, and then you'll just lift the wrists off the mat a little bit. Get a great wrist and forearm stretch that way. Good. So we'll be here for a few more breaths. If that's not your focus, just start to come into am I feeling struggle or surrender here? Okay. Where am I on that spectrum? So we have been in a prep pose for where we're heading next, which is another set of malasana. So bring your palms back to the earth. Your front knee is already there, front leg's already there. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Bring your back foot forward to join you into malasana frog. Now, we'll do a little bit of bear pose next. So malasana, we're dropping our hips down, hands are at heart. For bear pose, we're lifting the hips right in line with the knees, so knee height. And then reaching the arms forward, thumbs are up, slide those shoulders on your back. And then we're really getting into, I call it squeegeeing the hips. You can feel that squeegee energy. Gaze is down, back of the neck is soft. Roll towards your toes, lift your heels. Roll towards your heels, lift your toes. Just a couple of these. All right, and then we'll play a little bit with bringing the hands down to the mat, elbows in towards our thighs, and stacking your knees on top of your triceps a little bit. If you are comfortable with crow, we're gonna head there on the other side, but you can get in maybe 2 sets if you'd like to move into crow. I like just using this as an opportunity to open up the inner thighs a little bit more, to start to build some muscle memory of translating. You're telling your body basically to walk or stand on its hands when it's not used to doing that, okay? Unless you're in handstand regularly, this is pretty foreign for us. And then one more time, place the palms down, grip your mat with your fingertip pads, lift your heels. Try this on. If anything, you're getting a great hip opener. And then let's release heels down, relax your head and neck, take your hands behind the nape of your neck, and a little release. Don't lock the knees, let them bend, sway side to side. So at the top of the mat, halfway lift, take a breath in. Exhale, deep forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, deep forward fold. Hamstrings a little bit more stretch here. One more time, halfway lift. And then exhale, either you're going to step on top of your hands for gorilla pose, or you can grab the backs of your heels for hot yoga tradition. Forearms disappear behind the calves. Or you can just wrap your peace fingers around your big toes, elbows bent out towards the sides. You know, either variation, really, the focus here is about low back release, hamstring stretch, and upper body strength. So take 3 full breath cycles here and enjoy this stretch. Added bonus to get at the top of the hamstring attachment in the glutes, you can do the slight tucking of your tail and then soften, straighten the legs. Slight tucking of tail and then soften, pull chest towards your thighs or towards your shins, and then one more time, tuck tail, release the tuck and fold. Good. Take a halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, step your right foot back, low lunge. Side plank supported. So this is a lunge twist, right? You can stay here or pivot onto your back heel and come into a full side plank, Vashisthasana. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Take Chaturanga if you want it, if you need it. Upward dog. And let's meet back in down dog, get the other side. Take a breath in. Let breath go. Ha. Left leg up and back, inhale. Low lunge, exhale. So back heel is lifted, we're closed hips here, we rise up to our crescent Anjaneyasana. You can take a moment, hands heart or to the hips, settle in and focus. So feeling your back inner thigh spiral back, front inner thigh spiraling down, tailbone descending, low belly in, breathe. On the exhale, hands come to heart, thumbs touch sternum, shoulders are rested away from the ears. Let's take another inhale as we hinge forward. Exhale, revolving crescent lunge to the left. Okay. So I'm going to change sides, so I'm on the same side as you all. And you can always bring your back knee down to deepen the twist or help you focus on balance, or open arms. Or trying that variation, left palm down, right arm high, vertical lunge twist. Let's take a few more breaths here. Twisting is so good for us this time of year as we start to transition into Pitta season in Ayurveda. You can use that dynamic energy to purge toxins, to clear, to purify, and increase our strength and focus. And release, runner's lunge. So toe heel, I'm going to change sides. Toe heel your foot out to runner's lunge. You can check in, back knee lifted or down on your fists or on your palms, and then breathe into your hip and thigh stretch. This is often a space where we can check out. All right, I'm going to encourage you to check in. Maybe an opportunity to come back to this idea of what it looks like to have a good day, to do good things. So maybe it's good thoughts. You start here, send them out, send them to yourself. All right, yogis will come out of any variation of runner's lunge that you're in, reactivate, back knee is lifted, step forward, second set of malasana, so that we can play a little bit with crow pose here. So if you're newer to crow pose, you can start in a forward fold with your feet wide apart, and getting comfortable with bringing your knees up on top of your triceps as close to your underarms as possible. So you can kind of see that if you're in frog, we're already sort of ready to go there. And in frog pose, actually, you have the option of taking your knees and hooking them against your triceps. So you're kind of squeezing your arms with your thighs, and that can sometimes help to get a little bit more core engagement and upper body strength. Otherwise, you're stacking your knees on top of your triceps, and then really working to translate, rolling the weight into your heels of your hands, and then into your fingertips, gripping the mat like a big tiger claw. Heels up towards your glutes, gazing about 6 inches, 12 inches away from your fingertips. Hold or hook, pull core up and in. When you come out, that's okay. Take a moment, forward fold, check in with your shoulders, your chest. There's a lot happening here. What I love about this posture is you're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about if you're struggling or surrendering. You're in the zone, okay? It's that moving meditation. You're right where you need to be, and your soul finally has your attention, okay? Afterwards, however, when we come out of the pose, that's where sometimes we get that immediate chitta, and depending on how the pose went, we start to have this dialogue. We like it, we didn't like it, I like myself, I don't like myself, why can't I do this, okay? So I've been there, all right, I'm still there. The thoughts come up on and off the mat all the time, and that's where we learn, where am I at? Where do I want to be? Okay. So this is why we're so lucky that we get these different phases of the moon cycle to experience different emotions and opportunities. We're stepping into growth, transformation, evolution. If you want to conquer crow pose, evolve your practice. Get there every day. Okay. Show up for yourself every day. If you want to evolve crow pose into tripod or to other variations, that's our next step. So we start to lift the knees up to underarms on triceps, and then move into your crow pose. Lift your heels towards your glutes. And then start to slide your knees down your triceps and bring the crown towards the earth. From here, squeeze
Your elbows in, your triceps in, and then knees to chest to start, and heels start to lift. Now I'm working on my release, coming into core strength by hovering the legs at a 90-degree angle, and then releasing a little bit slower than that. All right, take a moment here, child's pose. I'm gonna sit with my hips on my heels just because I wanna feel a little bit more upward energy, and then check in with your wrists. We did a lot of wrist work, so you can kind of find a couple more of those wrist movements. You can do another stretch where you pull your fingertips towards your forearms. I also like to maybe come into embryo pose here, so arms behind you, palms face up, forehead to the earth. And that chitta, whatever's coming up for you in your mind, breathe, drown it out with the breath. Because even if it feels like it's a compliment, it's coming from ego. And that's not always our truth. Okay, so you want to get away from the ego and come into the seat of your soul. Stretch forward when you're ready, tuck toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Here's a moment to have some goodness, the transformation of your practice in downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out, ha. Walk to the back of your mat, hands towards your feet. Take a halfway lift, breath in, and a deep full breath out. Chair pose, the someday resting pose in your practice, and come on up. It's also known as awkward pose or thunderbolt pose. You can see the thunderbolt position. We'll breathe into balance here. Inhale, sit back a little bit more as you exhale. Wrap your right arm underneath your left, and then bring right leg up and over the left. You can bring your toes at your ankle like a kickstand and squeeze the legs together. The knees should be in line with your belly button. So if you're sacrificing the pose just because you want to hook your toe behind your calf and then your knees are out here, all right, bring the knees center, see if your toes still can tuck behind the calf, and if not, that's okay. Just squeeze the legs together. Focus on the squeegee energy of slowing fluid and blood supply to the joints. And then when we release, not yet, but when we release, then we get that surge of energy into our joints. Super healing, super powerful. Breath in. Tighten up, exhale. And release to center. Inhale the arms high. Exhale, we change sides. Left arm under. Left leg over. Eagle Gravadasana. Focus your gaze here. Check in with your neck and shoulders, your face. All right, squeeze in one more time. And release back to chair, breath in. Exhale, airplane torso only. All the way up into our standing mountain back bend. Exhale, hands come to heart, close your eyes, take a moment here, breathe in. Breathe out. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms high, mountain pose. Exhale, standing Shavasana, arms to your side, palms face forward. Tree pose, ground down through your right or your left leg, whichever side you want to start on. You can simply turn your knee out, heels touch, or you can invite your foot above or below your knee. Hands can come to heart, your hips, or up over your shoulders. And something I'm practicing on right now is closing my eyes in tree pose. It's very challenging. It's already difficult to balance as it is, but it's really, really cool what happens when you go inside. Take another breath in. And exhale, we release and change sides. Tree pose, Vrikshasana on the other side. And if something's coming up, like if you're somebody that tends to, hop around in your balancing pose, that's that struggle. Surrender to it. Let yourself come out of the pose. That's the intelligence that you need for the next time you come into it, which should be right away. You fall out, get back up. Try closing your eyes. Take a few more moments.
Let's release. Hands come to heart, close your eyes if they're not already. Take a deep breath in, come back into you. Big exhale. Let go of some struggle. Inhale, rise up, last mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, deep breath. Let's do a little tuck and curl here as we exhale. And then now maybe you're starting to feel the confidence or just the curiosity of jumping back. So plant your palms, elbows bent, heels are lifted. Use your core, and you're gonna land in a mid-plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let breath go. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Come back into warrior two now. Open yourself up. Take a moment, exhale, settle in. We want to straighten your front leg and then find some space in this right hip crease. Triangle Trikonasana. So SAS is back hip. Reach forward, reach, 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 reach. And then you can release your hands. 6 and 12 o'clock. Same thing as when you are in extended side angle. Check in with your arm placement and your shoulders. See if you want to reach, maybe take a half bind. Or the challenge here for core is to find that diagonal in your triangle. Maybe drop your head to take some tension out of the neck. And let's rise up, stack your shoulders over your hips, turn your feet in parallel. Take a breath in. Exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. Just a couple breaths here. Halfway lift, breath in. Crawl forward to a low lunge. We'll reset into a three-leg down dog, right leg up and back. Half pigeon, right knee, right wrist. Lower your legs to the earth. Untuck your back toes. And I like to always take a look over my right shoulder, and you'll notice as you twist, it pulls the hip back to maybe be more in line. You can stay right here, come down to forearms. Maybe prostration, stack palm on palm, forehead rests. Check in, you want to feel the toenails of your back foot press into the floor. So making sure that your heel's not sickled in or out. And when we only have a couple more breaths here. So if you're feeling like this is calling to you, this is a great hip release, an emotional epicenter for sure, and you need to spend some time sitting with the struggle or the surrender. Stay here a little bit longer. Own your practice. Start to come back onto your palms, tuck your back toes, use your core, lift your heel towards your glute, kick back, three-leg dog, bend your knee, flip your dog, open up here. This is our nice spine strengthening, big opening here, back bend, breath in. Exhale, up and around, downward facing dog, change sides. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale is your low lunge. I'm gonna change direction so I'm facing you all. And we rise up to warrior two. Good, take a moment, exhale, straighten your front leg. Reach, so important that you reach, 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 lengthening your side bodies. And then ensure that this front knee isn't locked, right? There's a little subtle bend there before you come into triangle Trikonasana. Really feeling this in the hip creases today. Checking in with your arm and shoulder placement. And then a little different this time, bring your shoulders over your hips. Turn your feet parallel to adjust the hips properly first. Then we're gonna hit the heels in and the toes out, bend the knees, squat into horse. Mandala here. Inhale, arms high. Palms touch, exhale, bring them to your heart. 2 more times like that. Inhale. Exhale. So 1 for growth, 1 for evolution, and 1 for transformation. Rise back up. Let's fold now, Prasarita for the transition. Halfway lift, crawl forward, low lunge. 3-leg dog. And then we move into half pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana on the other side. Untuck toes, look over your shoulder, pull the hip back, and then start to surrender to your variation. And a great opportunity to really be mindful of your body and where you're placing energy. You know, if this side feels like it's more accessible, maybe back off a little bit. If this is a more challenging side for you, then this is where you want to show up with a little bit more focus and probably spend more time holding this side that you struggle on more, because that's the work that needs to be done. And what are you doing? You're surrendering to the struggle. And again, if you're feeling the call to be here longer, I've had a lot of ugly cries and half pigeon poses in my practice. So nearly 17 years of yoga practice. So I've been there. So if it's coming to you, own it. Start to come out when you're ready. Tuck your back toes. We'll use the core to pull your heel up towards your thigh, your chest, your glutes. Not any of those. Your belly is what I'm trying to say. And then kick back, open up. You know where we're going. Flip your dog. Breathe for 3, 2, 1, and around. Last downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Ha. And then let's lower knees. Cross ankles behind you. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Relax the back of your head to the earth. And then like you're stirring a big pot of stew. Just nice circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. Navel down to spine. I'm going to invite you into legs up the wall or happy baby. So you want to do both, go ahead. This is legs up the wall. Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Grab the outside of your feet. And instead of your booty being off the mat, we want booty down, right? So that means that you need to grab onto your shins instead. Pull down and then resist against that pull. Isometric stretch, groin, sit bones, and low back. We'll draw into center for our final twist. You can do both knees together. I'm going to offer one leg at a time, supine twist. Knee across your body. Take a couple breaths. And change sides. And then sweet surrenders, knocking on your door. So bring everything back in one time, full acknowledgement of present moment of your practice, somewhere between surrender and struggle, releasing to all that's ahead of you, growth, evolution, transformation. Breathe in. Big exhale. Ha. Give yourself a couple sighs like that, yogis. And then allow yourself to drift off. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy your sweet surrender of your practice. This is where I'm going to leave you. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. In love, in light, and in the teacher in ourselves and each other. Namaste.